Good morning, HSM. It's a beautiful day here in lovely Foster City. We have some technical issues going on. It's been just a day full of technical things. We had issues with middle school, and that was fun. And we also got booted off our stream, so even better. But we're working through something with Bryson, so he'll join us shortly. Hope you're all doing great. Tell me how you're doing. I got wipes, so got those right there, and I think we're getting ready. Bryson's almost ready. Bryson, you almost ready?
Yes, but I will not be able to see you.
Great, fantastic. Do you want me? I'll let you know when you're on. How about that?
Yeah.
Bryson's getting ready. We had some issues, for big time issues. So we might need to.
All right, we should be good.
Oh, we good?
Yeah, I just won't be able to see you, so I can't see your face, man.
I can hear you though. We can hear you. Hello.
Is the camera on?
It's not on right now.
Okay, well at least you can hear me.
Now the camera's on.
Now the camera's on.
I'm gonna pretend you can see me, right? How many fingers am I holding up?
No, I can't. I'm literally staring at the camera.
I know. I just want to know how many fingers you think I'm holding up.
Let me see if I can see your shadow. 4.
Nailed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you got it.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah. So you can't see there's no screen for you.
No screen. Yeah.
Okay. That'll be fun.
I can look at myself if I have my phone here. And like pull it up.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Live.
You do that so you can play the game. You can just like keep it on mute.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're having some fun technical things going on. So, how you been doing, Bryson? How was your week?
Man, it's been good. We had that Orange Conference thing, so that was pretty cool. My sister just graduated kindergarten, so she's on her way to first grade. So she FaceTimed me this week and showed me her little medal. But yeah, man, how's your week been?
That's okay. It's been I'd say, if I'm being honest, it was a hard week.
Yeah.
Not like anything crazy. Well, yes. Starting Thursday night, some crazy stuff with Dot's work. So that made. Oh, I hear you. I hear you talking to you.
There we go.
Yeah. So just I don't know. Just one of those weeks where it was just kind of a bummer week, and it wasn't anything in particular. Just kind of, just tough, and it happens. It's life.
Yeah.
Every week can't be great. And I don't think it had anything to do with quarantine or anything. It was just
one of those weeks.
Just one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say that the Orange Conference thing. It was great. It was I started. I was really excited. I don't know if you guys saw if you follow me on Instagram. I was working out while watching one of the sessions, which was great. Double screen in there. Then Friday came and Dot was just so busy with work, and so it was just like, oh my gosh, everything is just crazy. So it's kind of a long week, but it happens. You got those weeks. Lorelai is going to go back to preschool this week, so that'll give us a little bit of a breather. I think that's the best way to describe it. A breather. It's May too. I can't believe
that came like fast.
April it flew, and yet it was the slowest month of all time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
With quarantine, all that stuff. I mean, we're opening up a little bit. Gonna keep safe though. I think, as important as it is to get things rolling again, getting outside, get to parks. So for those of you that golf,
I miss the park
golfing
so bad.
Michelle is pumped. She is so excited for golf right now.
I didn't even know she golfed like that.
Apparently, she golfs just like that. Yeah. Let's see what else got going on. Trying to think. Anything else exciting? Oh gosh, I gotta find this picture. So yesterday, we bought some just with all the car washes like closed because we were lazy and we just took our cars to the car wash. We used to. Oh wow, you can hear that typing. Holy cow! So you're gonna hear me typing, but we bought some like we were like maybe it's better if we just like wash our own cars. Probably be a good idea.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find this picture, and I'm gonna throw it up there. Oh yeah, it's on a mug. Well, whatever. It's okay. I'm gonna get this picture and I'm gonna show everyone so you guys can understand. So we were washing our cars. I was washing our cars yesterday, which is great, phenomenal. Great to actually wash, kind of therapeutic washing your own car. Mm-hmm. Does so much better than like the $25 washes you get.
Man, so and they always be missing a spot. You don't dry it completely.
Always missing a spot.
Always missing a spot.
Constantly. So I always think about this picture though, and I'm gonna show you this picture. You won't see it. Oh, you will see it in like 30 seconds.
It's just gonna be delayed.
Yeah. So I'll put it up on the. Let's see. I gotta hit the right button, so everyone can see it now. So it's a picture of a dude. I'll describe it to you while it's waiting to come up. But it's a picture of a dude washing his car, and then there's a bird sitting over the top, and the bird is thinking, "You are mine, all mine." Let's see. You'll get to see it here shortly. But I was washing my car, thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? I was thinking, man, it's not going to rain at all. It's definitely not going to rain anytime soon. So this is good too. Like, good to get the car washed. Sure enough, yesterday, as we were out picking up our dinner at your old workplace, Mendocino Farms, it started sprinkling, and I'm like, "You serious? Like, just wash this car. It's good." Goodness gracious! So,
speaking of cars,
yeah.
So the other day, I decide, hey, I want some Wingstop. Because I like chicken wings.
Wingstop is really good.
It's really good. So I went, got me a 15-piece.
I'm gonna get a Wingstop today.
Yeah, it's really good. So I'm sitting in my car, and I figured out this way to put my phone on the, I don't even know what you call it, the thing that pulls down.
The visor?
The visor, yeah.
Sun visor?
So I have a little pop socket. So I hooked it up there. I'm watching my Netflix. Cool. I'm sitting there, and I'm chilling.
Like waiting for your food to be ready?
No, this is like I'm eating the car watching Netflix.
That works too.
So this is after, and then all of a sudden, I just hear this boom, and I start rocking. And I'm like, what the heck? And I look behind my shoulder, and somebody hit my car.
No. While you were parked? Like, okay, a person driving?
Yeah.
I was going to say, even better if someone walking. But.
Yeah, and then I got out the car, and then, I thought he was going to take off, but he, like, pulled back and then parked. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, what happened? But anyways, I won't spare you the details.
First off, how's your car? Actually, better question. How are you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're fine because you're here and you're fine. But
yeah, the car the bumper has like some spots on it. I think it can come off, but it was just like a little fender bender.
Yeah, I mean, his fender into your bender.
Yes.
Geez, Louise, parked car too. I mean, that would be that would just at least it didn't like a bird hit your car or something. That would have been way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
You seen those videos of like birds hitting cleaned windows and just like yeah, honk.
Exactly. I seen that on the freeway the other day. There was like these pigeons went across and got caught underneath and just feathers and.
Oh my gosh.
Sad, man.
Oh man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. bird. Anyways, let's see. Great. You know what? Let's do. Hey, I'm gonna put the slide up just because I can. Here we go. We got the announcement slide. Yeah, so a couple of announcements. Life groups. This last week was awesome. I really liked. We kind of changed up our format a little bit. We're still Zooming, but we had everyone kind of join us together. We kind of started as two separate groups and then joined together and did a Kahoot. It was actually a very serious polling Kahoot, kind of about what we've been talking about with anxiety. And it was really cool to see everyone. And then we kind of broke up into groups, talked about it, and came back and prayed. And I really liked it. It was good to see your face more than once a week, too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, let's be honest. I see you all the time on Zoom.
For real.
But Bryson was a fighter pilot this week, so.
I was. I had my fighter headband on. I had my partner in the back, co-piloting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good connection.
Did you know that for the longest time I wanted to be a fighter pilot?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
long time. In fact, I think the biggest thing that stopped me was I thought I was too tall. And someone was like, "Oh yeah, you're too tall. You need to have perfect vision. You need to be this, and it was like, oh okay, I guess I can't because I wanted to join like the Air Force and stuff and fly fighter planes and but did not. Obviously, God had different plans for me.
He did,
which is great. I'm glad I'm here. But there's a part of me that like I still watch like videos of like fighter jets and like they have those like with their GoPros like in the jet, and you're like, oh, that would have been sweet. But
that'd be cool if you could, I don't know, hop in the back with someone.
Maybe someday.
Yeah,
maybe.
It'd probably knock me out, man. The G-force.
You gotta do your G strain.
Yeah.
Have you watched those videos of people in the centrifuge? Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Dude, I've seen people on a roller coaster.
Yeah, roller coaster. That's like 2.5 G at the most.
I know, but the dude just like kept passing out every 2 seconds. I mean, it's hilarious.
Anyways, back to life groups. Come join us. No matter what, if you're a part of life groups and you're coming, that's great. If you haven't even ever come, still come. Like, we want anyone. You're more than welcome to come. Come join us. I hope that we can see you there on Thursdays at 7. And we play games. We Kahoot.
Talk about deep stuff, man.
Talk about a lot of stuff. We want to be as open and as present as we are, and when we're in a group. Minus the whole actually being there with a group. So eventually we'll be able to meet again and get that fire pit going again in my backyard.
Oh yeah.
Also follow us on Instagram. We got a lot of stuff going on there, so come check it out. A lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff. We've been, like I said, celebrating seniors the last couple weeks. We'll continue to do that. Seniors, we know that you guys are missing out on a lot. So I mean, everyone's missing out on a lot, but especially with graduation, grad parties, and stuff. So I hope that you guys everyone is out there is doing great. Now we're gonna play a little game here, Bryson, and I'm gonna let the I'm gonna put it up. We're gonna play a game called What is Behind the Mask. Everyone's got to wear a mask now. I got my mask on. There we go. Got my mask. I don't need it right now. We're in separate rooms. Let's do that one. Now, because Bryson doesn't have a screen, he's going to be a little bit delayed on these, so he'll be delayed with all of you watching as well. So, and thanks, Sheena. I just looked at the comments. Sheena, thank you for joining us.
Big shame.
Everyone liked the last group. Oh my gosh, my wife.
Oh, I saw the confession.
Oh man. She also got. Dot, I'm going to tell a story about you. So in Foster City, where Lucky is, and I was like, Pop, like there's the what was I thinking? Oh my gosh, Baskin Robbins used to be that little place. Chili's used to be, or Chevy's, one of those two. I can't remember which one went out of business over there. But anyways, Dot used to live over by there, and she was walking by the entrance where you if you're on Edgewater, you turn left into the thing, that little entrance. She was walking by there when she was in elementary school. She used to go to Foster City Elementary, and straight up got hit by a car when she was a kid.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyways, ask Dot to tell you that story someday.
In my defense, both times were in a manual car.
Oh, that's true. I was with her the one time she hit someone. We were not driving our car, and the car that she was driving, it was a Jeep, and it had a winch on the front, so it extended even further. So.
Oh, and to answer Michelle's question, definitely, I personally love Buffalo Wild Wings better.
Yeah, B-dub for sure. All right, let's play this game. I'll get it ready for you. So it is called What is Behind the Mask. So I'm going to give you a picture of a mask. A dude or something wearing a mask, and you have to decide what their face looks like, all right? So this first one that we're going to see, I could actually hit play on this. Here we go. So I will wait until you've got it, but the first one is Christopher Pratt. Now, Chris Pratt, my favorite role of his is obviously Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec. And if you're not a Parks and Rec fan, then you should go watch it, and you will learn. You got plenty of time. You're in quarantine. But Parks and Rec just put out a video, kind of like a reunion video for the quarantine, and it is amazing. So there you go. I think you can see it now. What do you think? What is the status of Chris Pratt's mouth behind his mask? Let's see what people are thinking.
He has squinty eyes. So he looks serious. So
okay, so we've got closed, open, or open with tongue.
I'm gonna go with closed.
You go closed. All right. Yes, Jordan. Wingstop is fire, and especially when you get the spicy sauce. Anyways, dad jokes. Yes, closed is the correct answer. It is closed. There you go. Yes, Audrey with the Andy Dwyer reference. Oh my gosh, watch Parks and Rec. I've actually known Chris Pratt for a long time. I used to watch the show called Everwood. That's old. Back when I was in high school, and then when people started seeing him on stuff, I was like, oh yeah, that's Bright from Everwood. Anyways, we'll do another Chris. This should be easy for you. Which Chris will you find behind this mask? This is an easy one. You got this, Bryson.
I'm delayed, so I'm still.
That's
waiting.
right. I was like, you got it. Come on. I forgot that you were actually very delayed. So
I'm like in 2 time zones. It's like I'm up to date with you, but then I'm
with the audio.
Yeah. Okay, which Chris will you find behind this mask?
There you go. You got it now.
Oh gosh.
It's amazing how delayed YouTube is from what we're talking about. So I think most people would know this one. If you maybe the comments will help you out.
Yeah, I'll go with Pine because people know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's Chris Pine. That one was easy. That was an easy one. All right, here you go. The next one involves Kanye. So a little Kanye action. This one is Kanye. Kanye. You never know what Kanye is going to look like. I mean, he could look like that, and who knows? Still waiting on it, but I figure I got to tell some like stories about stuff while I'm waiting for you to see it. There you go. Boom.
There we go.
What will we find Kanye doing behind this mask? Is he A, snarling, or B, straight-faced, or C, smiling? You never know with Kanye, like I said.
Really?
He
rarely smiles. I'd say smile. Nah, straight-faced.
You go straight-faced?
Yeah.
I want him to be snarling. That's what I really want. Just thinking of a snarly Kanye. And now the question is, is this pre-Christian or post-Christian Kanye? Post-Christian has a whole nother connotation, but
man,
then that might change his. But no, he's straight-faced because that's very Kanye.
He's straight-faced?
He's straight-faced.
I knew it.
I realize that I'm saying the answer before the answer even comes on the screen. So, but he's straight-faced. Anyways, eating Chick-fil-A. I like that, Michelle. Thank you. The next one is going to be this is going to be another good one. But we'll wait. There's Kanye with his straight face. We've got Kanye. I think there's a game that we didn't play it because I don't know. I didn't. It was like guess what Kanye's facial expression is, and he literally his eyes look the same every time, whether he is smiling or any of that. So we got Lady Gaga here. What is Lady Gaga doing behind this mask?
Her eyes are kind of deceiving.
She's looking on.
Is she puckering? I don't think so. Is she gasping? Either A or C. I'll go with A.
All right. Bryson's gonna go with A, and I'm gonna even though the audio will be telling us exactly what is going on, you will get the answer visually in just a few seconds. But the answer is A, puckering. She is puckering her lips. Is that duck lips? Is that officially the terminology for that?
Hashtag duck lips.
Quack quack.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think this is the most answers I've gotten correct in a trivia.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Consecutively, at least.
I'm impressed with you, Bryson. You're doing good on this one.
I'm trying, dog.
All right, let's see what our next one is. I like this one. This is a good one. This involves Bradley Pitt. I don't know Bradley Pitt. Yeah, Brad Pitt is in this one. This one involves also facial hair. Or possible facial hair. I I'm waiting. There it is. Oh, man. There we go. All right. So what will we discover on Brad Pitt's face when we remove the mask? Is he clean shaven? Does he have a beard? Or does he have a mustache?
Shoot.
Anybody, like, I'm going to say, Bryson, you got a great beard.
Appreciate it, man.
And I can't grow a beard. It's just not genetically possible.
You try beard oil?
Well, the problem is it'd take like a month for me to even get close to any type of beard. But also, even if I go like a week and I leave like a little bit of a mustache, Dot refuses to give me a kiss. So,
Wow.
So I got to keep it pretty clean.
Clean shave.
Yeah, keep it clean.
I think I'm gonna go with clean shave.
You're gonna go clean shave?
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is gonna come up on my screen, and I will give you the answer that it is a mustache.
It is a mustache.
It is. I'm guessing he's doing. He's supposed to be doing promo for Inglourious Bastards or something, or because in that movie he had the mustache with his Nazi killing team. That, anyways, I saw that movie a long time ago. All right, we got a couple more that are spectacular. So we are actually, someone mentioned an emoji earlier. This one is also an emoji. Bryson, you will see it coming up on your screen shortly, but it says, what type of mouth does this emoji have behind the mask? Is it a straight face emoji? Is it a half frown? Or is it the creepiest of all emojis, the no mouth emoji? Oof. You're gonna look. I mean, this emoji looks very well protected. I feel like if this isn't an emoji yet, it has to be soon. Like, do we know? Like, I don't know. Has anybody seen I think the face mask emoji yet?
I think it's half frown.
Ooh, half frown.
It's either half frown or no mouth.
All right. Let's see. You going half frown?
I'm going half frown. B.
It is actually a no mouth.
No mouth
emoji. So yeah, it's just a pair of eyeballs. You'll see it shortly. I'm talking about it right now. I will say it kind of looks like a cheese wheel, but like
with eyes,
with only like 2 openings in it. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. We got 2 more. 2 more coming at you. We've got a dog. This is a dog with a mask on because you got to keep your pets safe. And when you pull off the mask on this dog, what will you find in his mouth? Does he have a biscuit? Does he have a bird? Does he have a pacifier?
It probably will end up being a pacifier.
I mean, yeah. What does this dog have in its mouth? I want to pet that dog right now. I need some dog petting time, I think that's what I'm missing in my life right now.
I'm gonna go with, because I like biscuits.
Oh, yes. Danny posted, sorry to interrupt. Danny posted the mask emoji. So there is one now.
Oh, wow.
Great. Oh,
taking advantage.
Dot is giving me a hard time because she's saying there's been one for a while. Yeah. I guess I just am not hip to the emoji game. But good to know that there is one. Oh, anyways, so what are you going with?
I'm going to go with A.
Go A? In fact, this dog, and I thought it was Photoshop when I first saw it. Now I can tell it's not, but it's
a bird. It's a
pacifier.
I knew it.
The dog has a pacifier in its mouth.
The dog.
And, man, it's pretty funny. I'm gonna let you see it. You're gonna see it here shortly. I want to leave it on the screen so that Bryson can see it. There he is.
Dude, it totally looks Photoshop.
It does, but I'm looking at it more, and it's in that dog's mouth.
That's crazy.
Either that or it's pretty good Photoshop.
Yeah.
All right, last one. All right, what topping is missing behind the mask of this deluxe cheeseburger?
I do like cheeseburgers.
Oh man, this one makes me hungry.
I just don't like how the actual burger never looks like the advertisement.
Oh, I just watched, speaking of, we're on YouTube. So I was watching a YouTube video of Rhett and Link and Good Mythical Morning. They actually did they took burgers and a picture of their ad, and they saw which one looked most like the ad. I think the Baconator one.
There's a video they show you how they dress them up. During...
It's not edible. Let's just say that.
Yeah, definitely not.
I used to work at a grocery store that put out like a magazine for their like bakery and baked goods stuff. Mm-hmm. And I would see them doing the pictures and I saw what they were doing too. And it's like put like stuff on it, like glue or something to make it shine better. Oh, it's just.
They spray the fruit with hairspray to make it shiny, and
they do a lot of stuff. Let's just say, yeah.
Anyways.
Food doesn't need to look good. It just needs to taste good.
Exactly.
Right? All right, what do you think? What's
I'm
missing?
going with onion. I think it's a bacon cheeseburger.
Okay, you think it's a bacon cheeseburger, missing an onion. Mm-hmm. In fact, my friend, it is missing the bacon, which is a criminal mistake to any cheeseburger whatsoever.
My heart. Carl's Jr. Bacon Western Cheeseburger.
Oh, dude, that's so good. When they used to sell two for $2 for $3.
2 for $5. Or yeah, 2 for $3, 2 for $5.
Back in the day. I remember getting 2 for $3. I mean, there's a reason I gained weight.
That does not look appealing. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. It looks fake to me. It looks.
And I don't know if that's beef or like fried burnt chicken patty.
Yep, I lost my burger appetite there, but
anyways, the green stuff. Anyways,
who knows? Lettuce. Anyways, that is what is behind the mask. Thank you for playing. You know what? I was excited for this game, but I'm more excited for the next game, which is next week. It is mom related because next week is Mother's Day.
Woo!
Make sure you get something for your mother. She might be helping you homeschool. I don't know what they do in high school. I know maybe they're making their moms. Probably not though. But be nice to your moms. In general, just in general. Right, Bryson?
Mm-hmm. Honor thy parents.
Yes, that's right. So what we're gonna do now is, after having a little bit of fun, we're going to. Okay, bring that back. Nope, that one. There we go. We're gonna transition into a time of worship, and I'm excited to have our worship band back this week. We had some technical issues with our worship last week, which is why we had just played a video. But I'm excited to have our worship band back this week. We're gonna sing a song that we sang at camp. I don't know how I didn't hear it anywhere else before this, but the song "Better." Do you remember that from Hume Lake? I'm sure you do, Bryson. But I don't know. There's something about that song that I really like about how, this world has so much and we want so much from this world, but nothing is better than your love. And so, we're gonna sing the song "Better." So wherever you're at, whether you're in your room or maybe you're watching with your family on the TV in the living room, let's take this time to remember who God is and what He is for us. So we're gonna sing a song called "Better."
All the money that the world could hold, mountains made of solid gold, riches that could buy my dreams. You are better than all these things. The prettiest face to turn their eyes, beauty that could hypnotize, open doors that looks may bring. You are better than all these things. Your love is better than life. You are the well that won't run dry. I have tasted and I have seen. You are better than all these things. Power that could shake the moon, most important one in every room, status matched by only kings. You are better than all these things. Your love is better than life. You are the well that won't run dry. I have tasted and I have seen. You are better than all these things.
think for me, it was realizing that, like, in certain situations that I didn't have the tools to properly combat it. And so when I would get anxious, I would just have to ride it or just, be consumed by it. And that would be really hard.
I was having a hard time just even going to school and making it through the day, and my mom wasn't sure what to do either.
I have really bad flying anxiety, and people will be like, oh, like just take a nap, go to sleep or something, but it's like, I can't do that because I'm so anxious.
Sometimes we experience anxiety that makes it harder to perform our best. Anxiety that is out of proportion to the source of stress we experience leaves us feeling overwhelmed or stuck. When these feelings become more than we can handle on our own, it's okay to seek professional help.
Can I talk about my own experience? So I just did a Google search and looked up therapists near me, or Christian therapists near me, because I wanted a Christian therapist. But then also I contacted a friend whose church had like a directory of resources in the area, and it happened that the Google search was also one of the resources that the church offered. So that's how I found therapy.
A couple of years ago, there was this really big stigma of Black women specifically going to therapy. We were painted as this picture of, no, you are the superhero, you're the strong woman, you don't need this, you can do this. I had a really crazy moment happen, and I'd called my mom, and I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, Mom, I think I need to go to therapy. And she was like, great. Without me even knowing, my mom, early in my childhood, actually went to therapy.
For me, I asked a family friend who was a therapist, who's like connected with the network, and she had a contact, and so I ended up making an appointment with that guy, and I really liked him.
So my very first experience of therapy I didn't like, because it felt very like, it felt a little stuffy and I didn't feel comfortable.
I got lucky and I stuck with the first person I was given. I mean, I remember the first couple sessions being like, let's get to know you. Therapy, in a lot of ways, is about giving you tools.
At first, I was very, very nervous. We had like a consultation. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I need to wear? What do I have to say? What questions do I need to bring in? But immediately when I got into the room, I felt like this just weight dropped off of me.
I felt relieved. I felt like I was finally going to be able to understand what I go through and like get the tools necessary to combat it, because I was really beat down by like what I was going through.
I was 17 when I first started seeing a therapist, and it is one of the most life-changing things that could have happened to me at that time. For insight, for healing, for just hope for the future.
Yeah, therapy saved my life. And allowed me to grow, allow me to change, and allow me to accept the things that I had in me that I did not feel like I could have accepted without it. So it truly saved my life. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get help.
Commit to it and you'll be in a better place than you were however so many days ago, hours ago, weeks ago. Sarah.
I had such a hard time in middle school and in high school. I had so much anxiety, and from going to therapy, it changed my life, and I now live a life I never knew was possible for myself. I'm so grateful for that, and I want everyone to know that that's possible for them. And you're not alone, and you're never alone, and there's always someone that you can talk to. Always, always.
If you have a friend that's in therapy, I would say the best thing you can do is just support them. Don't try to belittle them. Don't say, oh, you don't need this. Like, say, like, you're doing the right thing, or like, you're doing something that's gonna really help you. That goes a long way.
I had a lot of friends who wanted to, get in there with me, which was great at certain moments of that time. Give them space if they need space.
What works for you might not work for your best friend, even if you're similar in every other way.
If they want to talk about it, be a listening ear. especially with men in American society, it's really hard to talk about that stuff. And so when you do, like, it becomes more of a normal conversation. It's good, like, you know, it destigmatizes it.
All right, so today we're going to continue in our series, and you can see on the slide, we're going to talk about life in a hurting world. And last week, I've got headphone hair. But last week we talked about how important it is to build a circle of care, to have relationships when it comes to anxieties, and we can ask people that we can ask to be with us in good times and bad. But even with people at our side, sometimes life can hand us circumstances that are totally overwhelming, even hopeless at times. And today we're gonna read about in Luke 8, a tale of two people, two hopeless situations. So let's just jump right into it. So we're gonna look at Luke 8, chapter 8, verses 40 through 56. I'm just gonna read the whole thing, and then we're gonna break it down a little bit. Verses will be on the screen for you to see. When Jesus returned, the crowd welcomed him, for they had been waiting for him. A man named Jairus, who was a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet. He pleaded with Jesus to come to his house because his only daughter, a 12-year-old, was dying. As Jesus moved forward, he faced smothering crowds. A woman was there who had been bleeding. Who had been bleeding for 12 years. She had spent her entire livelihood on doctors, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the hem of his clothes, and at once her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. When everyone denied it, Peter said, "Master, the crowds are surrounding you and pressing in on you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." When the woman saw that she couldn't escape notice, she came trembling and fell before Jesus. In front of everyone, she explained why she had touched him and how she had been immediately healed. "Daughter, your faith has healed you," Jesus said. "Go in peace." While Jesus was still speaking, someone came up from the synagogue leader's house, saying to Jairus, "Your daughter has died. Don't bother the teacher any longer." When Jesus heard this, he responded, "Don't be afraid. Just keep trusting, and she will be healed." When he came to the house, he didn't allow anyone to enter with him, except Peter, John, and James, and the child's father and mother. They were all crying and mourning for her. But Jesus said, "Don't cry. She isn't dead. She's only sleeping." They laughed at him because they knew she was dead. Taking her hand, Jesus called out, "Child, get up." Her life returned and she got up at once. He directed them to give her something to eat. Her parents were beside themselves with joy, but he ordered them to tell no one what had happened. So in Luke 8, we find two people in hopeless situations. We have the woman who's been sick for 12 years, and the girl has just died. Feels pretty extreme, right? There's some differences in these situations. The woman is completely alone, surrounded by a crowd of strangers. We never learn her name. But yet the girl has family and servants and people all around her and is clearly loved. And both are disconnected from other people by something they can't control, their health. Jesus is on his way somewhere else. He's walking through the city, looking for somewhere. He's going somewhere else. The crowd wants to get where he's going too, but Jesus stops in his tracks for both the woman and the girl. You see, Jesus stops in his tracks. Wherever he's going, it's not as important as the people in front of him. He's not too busy to stop and notice the woman no one else seems to have time for. He doesn't even overlook the girl everyone else has given up for dead. Of the many things that we can observe of this passage of Scripture, here's an important one to recognize. No matter how old a person is, no matter how hopeless things seem, no matter what everyone else thinks, when we're hurting, we're Jesus' top priority. When we are hurting, we are Jesus' top priority. And although we know the woman has been suffering for a long time, As long as the girl has been alive, actually, if you think about it, there's no mention of her family or her friends. In this story, we're not even given a name or a place she's from. She's completely anonymous. Maybe her bleeding condition caused her to be avoided by Jewish society because of the purity rules about not touching people who were bleeding. Or maybe she was self-conscious and pushed people away. Either way, the woman had to make the tough choice to step up out of her silent struggle, no matter how hopeless she felt, to go for help. She's physically healed the instant she touches Jesus' robe. Physically healed. That's crazy. But he clearly isn't content for the woman just to walk away healed. Physical healing isn't going to solve all of her problems. It's when the woman connects and talks with Jesus that she experiences peace. So let's look at verses 47, 48. When the woman saw that she couldn't escape notice, she came trembling and fell before Jesus in front of everyone. She explained why she had touched him and how she had been immediately healed. Daughter, your faith has healed you. Jesus says, go in peace. You know, why? Why did she stay quiet when she was healed? Think about how you would have responded. So the girl in this story, however, let's transition to the girl in this story. We got the woman who was bleeding, and think about how you would have responded if you were like, okay, I got healed, got to get out of here. And Jesus was like, hey, what's going on? Now let's look at the girl. The girl in this story, however, has a family at home, her servants, a place to live. We don't even know if this bleeding woman has a place to live. We even know her father's name, which means he is important. He's important enough that they wrote his name down. This girl is valued in society, yet there are some similarities between the way people react each time Jesus stops. Let's look at those. Verse 45, who touched me? Jesus asked. When everyone denied it, Peter said, Master, the crowds are surrounding you and pressing in on you. And then in verse 49, while Jesus was still speaking, someone came from the synagogue leader's house saying to Jairus, your daughter has died. Don't bother the teacher any longer. You see, people reacted differently. People react, pardon me. How did people react to the sick woman and to the girl's father? How did people react? Think about it for a second. You know, often the world around us and even our family and friends can miss the cue to stop and pay attention to us. We can all get distracted by our own busyness or by what the world or culture says is important and not see how someone near us is feeling. In both the woman's story and the girl's story, Jesus has to remind even his closest followers that people are the most important priority. Both the sick woman and the dead girl's father needed to leave their homes and go for help. The same is true for us. Sometimes we have to stop in our own tracks and reach out for help. We need to stop in our own tracks and reach out for help. When we experience the same anxieties over and over again, or if we try to ignore it instead of listening to it, we eventually begin to lose hope. Ultimately, unhealthy anxiety that goes unaddressed leads to depression. And when we're depressed, most of us want to be alone and isolate ourselves. It can become a cycle that we can't break on our own. But think about it. What would happen if instead of keeping things to ourselves in those moments when we felt hopeless, we reached out instead? Even though our feelings may make us feel vulnerable and want to make us feel we need to be alone, it's really important that we push ourselves out the door and reach out for help. Just like the sick woman and the girl's father in the story. And there's also three action steps that I want to look at. The first one is breathe. We do it every 5 seconds, right? Maybe more. If you're working out, especially more. But slow and deep breathing skills can be very important. Sometimes settling our body and mind is really difficult, especially when you have a lot going on. One technique is to focus on our breathing. When we breathe slowly and deeply, we let our body and souls know that it's okay to relax and rest in God's presence. Think about the daily replay that we're trying to get to do here. Like the first steps are just to settle, to breathe. And it sounds simple, But have you ever noticed that when you have a strong feeling of anxiety, your heart starts racing, beating faster, you start breathing faster, your heart's just trying to do its job, right? Well, when you start to breathe more deeply, your heart gets more oxygen and doesn't have to work as hard. Then this amazing thing happens where your heart slows down and lets your brain know that you aren't in danger anymore. It's real simple but powerful way to trick your body and brain to shift gears into relaxation mode. And it can be kind of strange at first, right? Like if you just start deep breathing, right? But as you continue to breathe deep and slow, you can begin to take a moment to simply notice God's presence with each breath that you take. And the second thing is you don't ever have to handle feelings of anxiety, sadness, or depression on your own. All of us, you have a circle of support, whether it's family members, parents, maybe you have medical professionals, you have us here, or maybe other pastors on staff, or even other churches. And you have a church body, you have a group of fellow students around you who are ready to listen and to help. And if you ever need anything, you can always come to us. And I, as much as I would rather be sharing this in person too, I think it's very important that if you ever feel like harming yourself, pick up the phone and call. And we've put the National Suicide Prevention Hotline on there. Those are people who are trained in this, as well as we do have a care team of fantastic counselors here on staff as well. And then in the link below, is our take-home sheet, and the same thing is on there. If you ever feel like harming yourself, call for help. Or suicide is actually currently the second leading cause of death among young people ages 10 to 24, and it's estimated that 2 out of every 3 young people who experience suicidal thoughts don't ever get help. And like I said, if you need help, call the hotline number, call 911, and then call someone in your circle. And sometimes we're concerned not just for ourselves. Maybe you're concerned for a friend. If you've ever worried that a friend might hurt themselves, it's time to reach out for help. Don't try to carry that burden on your own. Call that same hotline or 911 if you're worried about really worried about a friend. And this is hard stuff, but I want to bring it closer to home. And at this point, I actually asked, I'm gonna put my headphones on because I actually asked Michelle to help share with me. We have someone who actually has, I guess I gotta put you on camera too. Hey, you're on camera now, just FYI. Still having video issues. Hi, Michelle. But Michelle has experience going to a counselor for struggles of anxiety and depression. And so I'm just going to ask Michelle a couple questions here. But what made you decide to reach out and ask for help? Yeah.
So my journey with anxiety and depression has not been like very super straightforward. But the first time around, I was actually approached by my aunt who literally handed me a check and said, call this lady. So she didn't really give me a choice to go or not. She kind of saw how downward spiraled I was going, and so she literally like set stuff up for me. She met me that first day that I was going to go into the office, and I was like freaking out. But she met with me, and she literally paid for me to go because I didn't have the funds or anything like that. But at that time, I got diagnosed with a major depressive disorder, as well as a generalized anxiety disorder, and it was really that hit me really hard because at the same time, I was dealing with a lot of self-harming issues. I was drinking, just doing a lot of things that, of course, naturally come kind of alongside anxiety and depression, and I had taken a break from counseling. So I went for about, this is really bad, I went for maybe 2 months, maybe. And then I went off to college, and I kind of was like, nah, I don't need counseling. I'm fine. Whatever. It's fine. And when I got into college, it kind of went back into a down spiral. I started self-harming again, doing some other stuff, and my roommates who I lived with in the dorm, they were really, really encouraging, and they basically were kind of like, you need to get your stuff together. You need to figure it out. Like, you're not going to make it. And they were great about it. They were very kind, like super loving. Like it was what's that phrase, Ryan? Tough love. That's what I'm thinking.
Tough love.
It was tough love. As well as my best friend Lindsay. She had definitely noticed a lot of things too, and she was like, you need to call somebody. And so that was kind of where a lot of that ended back up. And it took a really long time to find the counselor as well. Like, there were some I liked. A lot of them I just didn't connect with. And I have a counselor out here as well who I absolutely love. So it's been kind of a long journey of reaching out and asking for help at different stages throughout life.
Yeah, and it can be hard. Yeah, I would say, to find the right counselor. It could be one you go to and you're like, I thought this was supposed to help.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen. So next question I have for you is how did talking to someone beyond your friends and family help you look at your anxiety or depression differently?
Oh, good question. That a lot of that time, and even now, I couldn't talk to my family about it. We didn't have that relationship that came naturally. We didn't really talk about things in my family. But my friends, like, they were amazing. They would constantly come and sit and listen to me, but they were not professionals. And I needed a professional. And so somebody who could really work with some of the deep-seated issues that started back in early childhood. Like, it was really deep hurts and thoughts. And I didn't want to put that pressure on my friends to be that person. Like, they can't fix me, right? And like, it wasn't their job to try and fix me. And they were there to support me. But I absolutely needed somebody who could be just an outlet, somebody who I knew wasn't going to go and tell other people, somebody who I knew was on my side. And that was the counselor. That was those every Monday morning meetings that I would pretend were just coffee meetings with a mentor, and sitting with that counselor was exactly what I needed in the moment. I just needed somebody who didn't know anybody else. I needed them to just focus on me.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
How did your faith grow during that time, or where did you see God at work in your life during that time?
In the beginning, I questioned God a lot. When a lot of the self-harming and a lot of the drinking and taking pills and stuff had started, I wasn't a believer. I had gone to youth group and stuff like that, but I had never actually fully trusted Jesus. And about 2 months into the counseling, when I was actually doing it, and I was about 18, I had finally actually said yes to God, and I gave my life to Christ at 18. And holy cow, it was still really, really hard, because there were so many things where I was like, God, I know that you were good, but why do I still feel like this? Why do I question everything about life? Why do I still feel this way? Why do I still think about suicide or things like this? And those were really good conversations that I did get to have with the counselor, because I was seeing somebody who was a biblical counselor and can help me through some of those questions, as well as asking my friends, like, hey, why does God allow these things? Like, what is all of this? And one of the cool things I think that happened in a lot of my counseling sessions in college, as well as when I moved out here, I was seeing a counselor, and we would go back to those moments in early childhood. And one of the things we did was she would say, where is God in that moment? And so she would literally have me kind of recreate the scene in my mind, and she would say, okay, where is God? And there were so many times where I would just see God literally sitting next to me. And that for me was one of those things where I was like, God's never left me in those moments. When I didn't feel him, or even when I didn't see him, or I didn't even know about him, like, he was there. And that for me was just a reminder of God is constantly there, and he walked through every single thing with me, and I just didn't see it. And so that has really grown my faith, as well as the fact that I I've had people pour into me who've dealt with the exact same thing, and now it's kind of my turn to be able to go and do that for people as well. So God just using that in those experiences.
Hold on. It looks like it's reconnecting. Reconnection successful. Hopefully.
There we go.
You're frozen on the screen right now. I think hopefully we're back on shortly. It's your eyes closed. So I don't know what it missed. Hopefully it didn't miss too much, but yep. Okay, we're back.
Hello. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. That was an internet weirdo.
We're having
issue.
such technical problems today.
Jeez Louise. But yeah, I'll kind of repeat, but like I don't know what was missed, but yeah, the idea that God is in everything, and like you don't always see it, and then you can block it off. I feel like this has happened to me even recently. Dot literally said this to me yesterday too. I was like, I don't know. I've been really anxious lately, and I don't think it has anything to do with like the coronavirus or any of that, but just in general. I think Satan's doing a lot to attack me. A lot of spiritual warfare in general. But Dot said that to me yesterday. And so hearing you say it that from your counselor, it's like, it's really cool to be like, hey, like, where is God in this? Mm-hmm. Where have you seen God in this? And you look back on it, it's like, okay, God was there. God was there. God has always been there. So I love hearing that too. So
a lot of speaking truth to yourself as well.
Right. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe one or two more questions here. Let's see.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who is hesitant to reach out for help because they fear that others might find out and think differently of them?
Been there.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you just said, I remember you said your coffee appointments, right?
Yeah. So that's what I used to call my counseling sessions, because I didn't like the term therapy or counseling. I was just like, I just thought I was, gosh, it was just really hard to accept the fact that I had to go to therapy or counseling, and I was terrified of people finding out, especially when I was young and I was 18. And oh man, that was one of the biggest areas. I remember sitting in the parking lot and looking around before I went in to make sure that nobody saw me. I was terrified of people finding out. And then it took me a couple of years to learn this, but one of the bravest things that you can do is ask for help. And I think one of the hardest things was you're not brave for pretending everything is fine. That's not brave. You are brave for seeking help and for trying. And I think every single one of us is broken in some way, but our brokenness doesn't define who we are. God defines who we are. And this isn't something just that we deal with, right? It's there's no shame, there's no guilt in mental health. And I think that what I would say to somebody who's hesitant to reach out is to understand why you think it's either shameful or guilty. What is it about going to therapy or seeing a counselor? What is that for you? And trying to figure out what's beneath that. Why is that? And so for me, it was that fear of that the amount of shame putting on myself, when really there is no shame, there is no guilt, as I said, but in fact it's brave, it's strong to be able to walk into those places.
Yeah, I love that. And Rachel put it in. You got someone. If someone had a Twitter, they'd put this. But Rachel quoted you in the chat. One of the bravest things you can do is ask for help. It's so hard.
That's not my quote. I found that somebody else told me that.
It's fine. Michelle said that someone else said. I mean, yeah, I've heard it before too. It's so sometimes it can be so hard to ask for help.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult, but it's so brave.
I would say, speaking as a man too, the machismo aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
Guys, it's okay. Girls, it's okay.
Absolutely.
No matter who you are, it's okay to not feel 100%. Don't try
and hide it.
Yeah. I think you kind of answered our last question, a word of encouragement. Or do you have any other encouragement by people who feel overwhelmed or by anxiety or depression today? Just a last word.
Yeah. Like I said, one of the bravest things you can do is ask for help. And, I think one of the hard things when I was at some of my lowest points is I just want to encourage you, you are not alone. You are not alone in the battle. I know what it feels like. So many people know what it feels like. Millions of people deal with this. So there is hope in all of this. I remember thinking am I always going to feel like this? Am I always going to feel this way? And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It takes time and work, though. It doesn't just happen overnight. For me, this has been since I was 18. And I have had to learn to be okay with my diagnosis. And the fact that, you know, for me, like, I'm going to be on medication most likely for the rest of my life. And that was really, really hard in the beginning. I struggled with going on and off medications. And I had to eventually learn, like, you know, it's okay. This is okay. If this is what's going to help me to live my life and to understand my diagnosis and do all the kind of stuff, like, then I'm going to do that. And it took a little while to really understand myself better. But it was so worth it. And there are still times that, like, there are days when it's really hard to get out of bed still, or I'll be an entire night just awake with these anxious thoughts or with a lot of this stuff. But have people around you that can work with you. Alex, my husband, he's amazing with me. He's super patient. But before that, like, I had a solid, and I still do, but I had an amazing group of friends that I could contact, or I could just say, hey, I'm feeling super anxious right now. Can you pray for me? And it was little things like that. And they would check in on me, or just like, hey, how are you feeling today? Or all these little things. And so who's your tribe? Who are the people that are around you supporting you? And that are going to help you make those choices to continue going to counseling, or to actually seek that help. I think that would be my encouragement, but know that there is hope, and it doesn't always have to feel like the end of the world. There is hope in all of this.
Yeah. And yeah, this is great. Thank you, Michelle, so much for sharing.
Absolutely. One of my favorite topics to talk about.
I know. When I asked you this week on Slack, I just got, like, all capitals, yes.
Yeah.
So I thank you for sharing. You know, it's something that, yeah, like I said, a lot of us can struggle with, but we don't want to reach out. But I think there's encouragement here to reach out. So thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's I'm gonna finish up now.
Bye.
Bye, Michelle.
Feel free to always reach out to me too if that's something that you want to know more about, or anything like that. Like I said, I love talking about this. So yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and I think one important thing to remember too, I'm gonna take these off because I'm not having to listen to Michelle right now. So but remember, I think it's really important to remember this too, and I think Rachel even put it in the chat. But remember that having inner struggles doesn't mean we lack faith. It means we're human. We can grow in our faith even in the midst of struggles when we do a few things. And we've mentioned this each week that we've done this. But look up, look inside, look around. Look up. We pause in the midst of our anxious thoughts. Look up and seek God's encouragement through the Bible, and by talking with others who are walking in faith. We look inside. We reflect on where God is working inside of us, where he's worked in us constantly. We look around. We take a good look at our own anxious world to determine when and how to ask for help so that we can make positive changes. And sometimes our anxiety can be too much for one person to handle on their own. God designed us to be part of groups and a part of families who care. And at times, to expand our circle to a professional helper. People have worked their whole lives to get to where they are. They're helping us learn how we can work on our anxiety. So don't feel bad reaching out. Reaching out to others and reaching out to God is so important. And remember, I feel like we put this slide up every week, but who's in your circle? Who have you put around you that can, like Michelle talked about, her friends that pushed her aunt who took her to therapy, you know, people, who's in your circle, and who have you put in your circle that will help you and look out for you? Hopefully you have someone. If you don't, I mean, again, reach out to us. We're people who have gone through in different stages of all of this. And so don't feel bad reaching out to us. I do understand that it takes some courage. I was listening to the Newsies soundtrack because Lorelai loves the Newsies soundtrack. And there's a line in one of the songs that says, "Courage does not erase our fear. Courage is when we face our fear." And I think we can take that and like be like, it's okay to have fears. It's okay to have anxieties. But courage is going forward and facing that. And you don't have to do that alone. And remember that you do not have to do that alone. So let me pray for us, and then we're gonna head out of here. Lord, thank you. Thank you so much for helping us see you in our lives. And I pray that we can see you in our lives, even in the toughest of situations. And we do pray for those that are hurting right now, whether it's a big hurt, small hurt. Lord, we pray that they understand that they're not alone. They have you. Like Jesus did with the woman and the girl, he stopped going where he was going and he helped them. Just like you can help us. But we understand too that sometimes we do need help from others. And it's okay. It's okay to get help. And we pray that we can have that courage to seek help when we need it. Lord, we lift this week up to you in this time where we can feel very anxious about what's going to happen in the future, what's happening right now. Anxieties of just being stuck at home. Lord, watch over us, protect us, and we lift this up in your son's name. Amen. Yeah, like I said, let's have a fantastic week. Let's look to God for help in all this. And again, reminder in the link down below, I think that's my YouTube thing. Link down below, there's stuff for our Instagram. You can check that out. There's also a take-home sheet for you. If you missed last week, go back and watch it. You can see the take-home sheet down there for that one too. So there's a take-home sheet for each week. It's a link to a Google Drive folder. Check it out. It's got a lot of information on it. Yeah, and also get on the Zoom chat. For life groups, we're talking about this. Isn't an end to the conversation. We continue to talk about this every week while we have some fun. We pray together. We fellowship the best way we can. So, sorry, no bagels. I wish I could send everyone a bagel. That would be awesome. Anyways, you all have a fantastic week. I miss seeing all of you. Hopefully by the summer we'll get to hang out together again. But in the meantime, I hope you can join us on Zoom. And if not, see you next week where Rachel's going to share and finish off our series on anxiety. So looking forward very much to that. I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful week. See you guys. All right.